Hello everyone, welcome back, hope you're having a great day and we're all doing well. Here is 10 random lore facts about Rainbow Six Siege lore to help expand your overall knowledge and teach you some really fun new facts. This can range from anything to do with maps, operators, and everything in between. Of course, I've got main lore videos, operator lore videos and everything, but there's a lot of stuff which you can easily miss along the way, and that is why I'm going to do this series of just random facts to help teach you stuff about Rainbow Six lore. Before we continue with this video, I would like to thank Art4Fans for sending me out this absolutely insane artwork of Deimos and his Kyrez Legion mercenaries in front of Emerald Plains. This looks absolutely incredible, and you can find this on their website alongside a bunch of other really cool, officially licensed Rainbow Six Siege prints. You can find this website linked in the description, and once again, thank you to Art4Fans for sending me one of these out. It looks incredible. And without further ado, let's get into this video. So for this first lore fact, we're going to be taking a look at Deimos, aka Gerald Morris. Now, many of you may already be aware that Gerald Morris is a legacy Rainbow Six character, appearing in previous installments of Ubisoft's Rainbow Six video game franchise. But did you know back in his Rainbow days, before he became the villainous Deimos, he enjoyed collecting antique blue recordings and memorabilia? This could help explain why on the map Layer, which is the base of Deimos and the Kyrez Legion, the reasoning for there being a guitar in the Bunk's bomb site. A potential reference to this interest of Deimos, especially since this map released an entire season before his identity was revealed to us. This could have also been a hint to who he truly was. And this little piece of Gerald Morris's personality is delved into more in the Battle Pass, where we have this charm titled Vinyl Classic. And there's a little statement by Sense which says, "I hate to say it, but from what we found at Layer, Deimos has great taste in music." And this is especially interesting coming from Sense, since music has a big place in their life, even receiving classical music training when they were younger alongside their two younger siblings. I bet you weren't expecting this little lore fact to go this deep. So the next time you see this guitar on Layer, keep that little fact in your head. Sticking with Deimos, this next lore fact is about Deimos and Fenrir. Many of you may know the backstory those two operators have, not going to get into that here and repeat myself, but did you know in the latest season, Operation Deadly Omen, this history between Deimos and Fenrir is actually highlighted by some really cool in-game interactions. Yes, when you track Fenrir as Deimos, you have some unique voice line. Take a listen.
I see you, Emil. What are you afraid of, Fenrir? No escaping this time.
A really cool interaction between two operators who are very important in the lore right now, and hopefully they do more stuff like this in the future because this is just really cool. This next one is about everyone's favorite exothermic FBI operator, Thermite. In the psychological report he created for Ram when she joined his squad Redhammer, he said the following: "Ram explained to me how women in the Korean military can only enter at a very high rank, then laughed and said she expects the same treatment in Redhammer. While we only have one captain, she exudes leadership. A big sister vibe, really. Been a while since I had one of those, so I'm not hating it." Now, the statement about Ram giving him a big sister vibe is actually really important to Thermite, because in the lore, not too long ago, still during his time that he has been in Rainbow, he actually lost his older sister to cancer. And only a few years before that, he lost his mother. So that there really goes to show you the way that Thermite feels about Ram and how he sees a leader in her, and the somewhat comforting feeling he gets from her, seeing her like a big sister to him. A really big compliment, and just goes to show how much he values having Ram in Redhammer. This next one is for Caveira. Now, Caveira was born into quite a large family, having many siblings. And although we don't really get to see much about her siblings, there is one we get to see quite a lot of in Ghost Recon Wildlands, and that is her brother named João. This is a part of a crossover mission called Operation Archangel, a mission in which Caveira goes AWOL from Rainbow and is getting tracked down by Ghost Leader Nomad, joined by Rainbow Operative Twitch. Valkyrie is also involved in this mission as well. And originally, the Ghosts in Rainbow are confused as to why Caveira has traveled to Bolivia to kill a bunch of cartel members, the Santa Blanca cartel to be specific. But it turns out her brother João is an undercover officer for the Federal Police of Brazil, and he was deeply rooted inside this cartel as an undercover officer. However, his cover was blown, and that is why Caveira decided to go AWOL and save her brother's life. And make sure you're subbed to this channel because I'm going to play through the entirety of this operation since it is really fun and interesting. This next fact is for Monty's elite skin. Now, when you look at this elite skin, you probably think that this is just a fictional skin that they've made up sort of to make him look like this superhero robotic thing, sort of like Iron Man. But what if I told you that Monty's elite skin is actually a lore-based elite skin and has a meaning behind it? Yes, this elite skin for Monty was introduced at the same time the entire situation with Azami, Yahata's situation, and Nighthaven was emerging. If you don't know, Nighthaven left Team Rainbow, and after it was discovered that Nighthaven's ordnance was used to assassinate Yahata, Rainbow got a bit suspicious of their former allies. That is when Mira, the director of R&D inside of Rainbow, decided that it was best not to take any chances. So she went into the lab and developed this, the Montagne Mark II. This is a brand new set of armor for Monty that would be deployed in the case they needed to fight Nighthaven. Now, of course, now we know that bullet was all orchestrated by Deimos. Nighthaven didn't kill anyone. But considering the tech we know Nighthaven is capable of making, thanks to their QCR leader, Osa, it isn't surprising that Mira decided to design this suit, just in case the worst scenario begins to play out. Now, we don't specifically know how strong this suit is, but based on the MVP animation for Monty's elite skin, we can see that his shield is capable of stopping a very powerful energy beam. So although we don't know how strong this suit of armor truly is, we can imagine that it is very strong. So that right there is the true meaning behind Monty's elite skin. It was originally designed in case they needed to fight Nighthaven, however, that never ended up needing to be used. Okay, so I mentioned Osa in the previous fact, and I think now is a great time to mention one for her. Osa is obsessed with 60s sci-fi movies, one specifically called Empress of the Platomatons. This is a poster you may have seen on Harry's board and in the lore in other places, and you've probably also seen this little purple robot which appears in her operator trailer and I believe is a charm as well. This is just something which Osa keeps on her desk. And something that's just quite cool for year 9 is in the Bravo packs, Osa has a legendary bundle which is based on this 60s sci-fi. You can see that this headgear and uniform is heavily based on this sort of retro style of scientific movies. And although it isn't my favorite skin in the game, I do think it is a really fun bundle for Osa since it does incorporate something that she does love very much. And I thought it was really cool when I opened up the Bravo packs for this year and I saw this bundle for Osa. I immediately knew what they were going for with it, and now you do too. So next time you see anything sci-fi related with Osa and Rainbow Six lore, and if you end up getting this skin from the Bravo packs, you now know its meaning. Okay, this next fact is going to be for Lion. So if you've ever played Lion, you may be aware that his gadget, the flying drone in the sky, which will scan anyone who moves during its scan duration, is known as the EE-1D. However, there is another nickname for his drone which he commonly refers to in his voice lines in-game, and that is Big Brother. And for those of you who may not understand this reference, this is a reference to probably one of the most popular and relevant books in history, George Orwell's 1984, with Big Brother being the antagonistic surveilling figure watching your every move. And if you compare this to Lion's gadget, it makes a lot of sense. It watches every defender on the map during its scan, and if anyone steps out of line, Big Brother will see you. And there's also another little reference to this in Rainbow Six Extraction. Of course, this game isn't canon to Rainbow Six Siege, but you'll see what I mean when I say the skin also isn't canon. It's a bit of a wacky skin where a lion looks like he just has a TV stuck on his head, and it's not wrong, but this also seems to be another visual reference to the movie of 1984, which came out in the 80s, with Big Brother broadcasting from a screen. And screens are a massive thing which Orwell writes about. Just a really cool reference, and a lot of you who may already already be aware of 1984 might have just seen this and gone, oh my god, that makes so much sense, how have I not noticed this? This next fact is for Jager. A lot of you may be aware that Jager is an engineer, and as well as this, he is also a pilot. One of his most famous quotes in-game is when you're reviving someone and he says, I'm an engineer, not a medic. Well, Ubisoft embraced this aspect of Jager and made a really cool little addition to one of the maps in the game. Now, yes, I will admit it's not everyone's favorite map, but when it comes to the lore, it is quite important since this is one of Rainbow's original bases, even appearing in the original Rainbow Six book, and that is Hereford Base. In the exterior of this map, you can see some Supermarine Spitfires, which have been restored and have now been placed there as a form of statue and memorabilia. Well, if you actually take a closer look at the plaque underneath them, you can see that this restoration was completed by Marius Stryker, which is the real name of Jager. Again, just another fun little simple fact, which is really cool because then the next time you're going to play Hereford Base, you're going to see these Spitfires and you're going to be like, oh, I know that fact that Jager was the one that restored them. I really like these little additions to the lore. This next one is for Bandit. As many of you may be aware, when you're playing Bandit, sometimes you would wish that you had two bandits to help deny that breach from being opened. Well, it actually turns out that Bandit is a twin, and he has a twin brother named Cedric. And growing up, him and his brother would get on very well, and they still do. But there was a chance that Bandit's brother may have even made it as far as Rainbow. The day after their 18th birthday in 1992, they both joined the BGS. However, Bandit's brother Cedric would end up getting an early retirement from the BGS due to an altercation with the crude electrical device, which many of us in-game just refer to as a bandit battery. We don't know specifically what happened with it, all we know was it led to an early retirement, but it seemed to be nothing which would affect their relationship and they are still great friends, and Bandit enjoys being an uncle to his brother's kids. Let's move over to Nomad. Not the Nomad we were just looking at from Ghost Recon, the other Nomad which is currently in Team Rainbow. You may notice when you're playing Nomad that on her right hand, she is missing the middle finger and her ring fingers. Well, it turns out that she actually lost these fingers due to frostbite during one of her many expeditions. You can kind of think of Nomad as the Lara Croft of Team Rainbow. And although she is missing these fingers, that hasn't stopped her from going on new expeditions, as well as becoming a Rainbow operative. And if anything, they now serve as a memory of that expedition she went on. And the 10th and final fact for this video is that Kaze and Oryx are joint tallest operators in Rainbow Six Siege, both being 6'5". And with Gerald Morris expanding Rainbow Six Siege's lore into the previous games, we can also say that Oryx and Kaze are tied with Karl Hader, a previous Austrian operator, but then technically the tallest operator in Rainbow's history is actually Arkady Novikov, who was 6'7". And with that, those are 10 random Rainbow Six Siege lore facts to help expand your knowledge on Rainbow Six lore. Be sure to drop a comment letting me know which one of these facts were your favorite, and liking this video, commenting, and subscribing really does help, and helps guarantee that I get to make another video like this. So be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, drop a like if you did enjoy, subscribe if you're new, I'll catch you all later, I love you all, stay safe, peace.